what's happening is that people are showing up and they're not able to get in, and so they don't know what's going on, and so we're telling them where their location is. And so we're helping them get there.
Well,
because you guys aren't apparently telling them.
well, we're showing them where to go.
Well, there was a group of people that just came out of here who said that they weren't told anything.
Just give them this address book, address where the address is.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that, but there was a group of people that just came out of here and said that they weren't told anything, they didn't know what was going on, and then they were just helped by this lady right here, actually, to go to the correct polling location.
Margaret Griffin. Oh, come here a minute.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
kind of problem did you have?
Oh, it wasn't me that had the problem. I talked to a lady that came out, and she said that she was told she wasn't in the books, so she couldn't vote. Wasn't offered a provisional ballot or anything like that, just told no.
No, she had to go over there and wait till we called the election commission.
Yeah, and she
fill
said
us
that they
fail-safe.
tried to call and did never
We
get
couldn't-
through.
We can't get through to the election
Right,
commission.
so I called
So
the
they have to
Democrat
sit and wait because
headquarters.
when they come to vote, they know they might have to wait a while.
There's
Well,
no disagreement.
Yeah,
That's fine. We
they
understand.
pulled it up in the computer and were able to tell her she needs to go to a church on Brainerd Road. She was
Okay.
at the wrong location.
Good.
So we were able to get her to the right location, but apparently nobody in there could.
Well, we can't get through. We
Yeah.
have to get through. We have
Well,
a number that we have to
That's
call.
right.
They need to have more phones.
We're not attacking you. We're
Yeah.
trying to. We're in
Because
any
we're
way,
doing
this
the
is not
best we can do.
combative.
They should give you a
when they
computer
redo these
hookup.
lines, then that's been pure HEWL today.
No, I know. I've tried to call the election commission today too on other
And
cases.
we've had more fail safes. Almost as many fail safes that we've had to voting.
What do you mean?
Because the people didn't know where to go to vote. They weren't in the book.
Right, because the precinct lines have changed.
Yeah, a lot of them
absolutely.
didn't look at the registration card. If they had looked at the new registration
She never
card,
got one. She said she's called multiple times and never gotten one in
Yeah,
the mail.
but some
I've done
people
enough
told me
voter-
they didn't get one, but some of them said, "Oh, I don't know where it is," or "I don't have it."
Well,
with me."
I didn't
It's
get
in my other
mine.
billfold.
I didn't get.
I didn't get mine in the mail. I
I've
had to go
registered
back
several
to the
voters 6
election
months ago
commission
and
and
never
get
got
my
it. That's right.
card.
That's
I
very
had to go
common.
back.
Very common.
It's very common.
Yeah.
And so, we're doing everything that we can possibly do.
I know. They need to give you better tools. They
And
need to
we're-
have
Well,
more
no,
numbers
they
that
need
you would be
they
able
need
to get
the
through.
books in line. That's
But they need to have more contacts for you to be able
Hey,
to
did
solve
you ever-
problems when they
I
arise.
work here, but I didn't have no trouble this morning.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just trying to help. So
Yeah.
Trying to make sure the democratic process works here.
Yeah, we want
Oversight,
everybody to
transparency.
get to their voting place.
Hey, did you have any troubles voting tonight?
No.
Great.
Great, thank you.
No, if they voted here and they got the registration or even the registration card, the voter registration card, we
Okay,
can look on
great.
it and tell them immediately where they need to go.
I understand.
Or we can.
Do you all have a computer in there?
We're not allowed to use the
Did you
computer.
find any troubles voting tonight?
So you don't have any way to go into the election?
We're not
Okay,
allowed
that'd be
to.
good.
We have to
Thank
call
you.
election commission so they can correct their papers when we
Well,
call
we
in.
have access to computers, so possibly.
But
we
we're not
could
allowed to
find-
use one.
Well, I'm saying that if people are having problems, we could possibly go into the computer, put in their address and tell them which precinct they need to go to.
Well, I talked to them about that and they said we're not allowed to do it.
They need to
So
let
that's
you
an
do it.
issue.
They need to
That's an
change
issue
that.
you'll have to take up with the election commission.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
and they
not
need to have
sure.
more phone lines for you to be able to get through to
Well,
them
we're sure, but they
easier.
say they're just swamped.
Oh, I
Every
understand.
place is the same way that we have.
Yeah, but they need
And
to
they
have
can
more
only take
people
care of so many
working.
people.
Yeah, well,
You know,
if
it's funny,
nobody
Ma'am,
can't
I
get
grew up
through.
in Eastlake. I went to Eastlake Elementary, Eastlake Middle School. I used to come down here and stand on the sidewalk with my parents. I don't recall anyone ever having any problems.
Well, we didn't have this much problem until they redrew the lines. Redrawing the lines was this was the worst thing they could do. And we know why they did it. They say every 10 years when they take the census, they have to redraw the lines. And people's not accustomed to know where to go. But a lot of them don't read their registration. They get a card. They don't read on it to see where they're supposed to go to vote.
But a lot of them don't get cards, though.
Huh?
A lot of times
them
they
didn't-
don't get the cards.
Well, okay,
Because I know I didn't get
yeah.
mine.
Well, a lot of
Yeah.
people told me they didn't get theirs.
Yeah.
And
So it's a
and
common
they
So
had-
what do
problem.
they do when they approach you and they haven't gotten their card and they don't know where they go? All you can do
Well,
is
we do a
call
fail
in.
safe, and we have to call in. We do a fail safe, and we call in. And the election commission tells us where they're supposed to go. We're not supposed to do it on our own.
Well, we had a report, a young woman said that someone tried to look at her ballot when she voted at this precinct.
Was trying to look at her
Her
ballot.
ballot, yes.
Well, we've had so many spoiled ballots, and they say they'll argue. I didn't overvote. I didn't overvote.
What do you mean?
Then you have to take it
ballot?
over and mark a spoiled ballot and say you did overvote.
What do you mean overvote?
Whether they vote twice in one category.
Okay.
And then we have to spoil the ballot and
So
issue a
that's
new
called
ballot.
a spoiled ballot?
Oh, yeah. Lord, we've had more than we've had in 10 years.
So they come to you and say, "Oh, I made a mistake
Uh-huh.
and marked too
And
many."
I tell them what the machine says. The machine
Okay.
tells me what it is. I don't touch their ballot. And then they want to argue with me. Then I send them up there, and then we have to look at it and tell them what you actually did wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would say, now don't mark but one time because
Yeah.
3 times I've had one person had 3 ballots. He was only voting 1 time.
Yeah.
He had 3 ballots?
Yeah. I can only
Because he
issue
messed
3.
up, though.
And so I had to get him assistance.
Oh, you mean he messed up 2 ballots and
Uh-huh.
wound up getting
And,
3
and so we got assistance to do the third. And he only cast 1 vote.
Yeah, because you had to do away with the first 2. Okay. Yeah, well, this lady that we had talked to
But we know
earlier.
him. We know
Okay.
him.
Okay, well, this lady said
And
that
he has
somebody
a,
was
he has
trying
a
to
mental,
look
he
at
has
it.
a mental problem.
Yeah, well, this lady was not that she was having a problem with it, but that somebody was trying to look at it, and we don't know who. You know,
What
who
if they
the
took it
person
back to
was.
get a new ballot?
No,
Probably-
she didn't take it back to get a new ballot. She was my understanding of it that she was just
Yeah, I'll
voting
have
and
to talk to her and
Well,
see
I
if
had one
it-
lady that wanted to argue with me, and her daughter was there. And she said, I didn't overvote. I didn't overvote. And I said, well, just come up here now. We'll have to spoil this ballot. And we'll show you where you did wrong.
well, they just made a mistake.
Yeah.